So good afternoon, Adam. Thanks so much for taking some time out getting involved in Business Owner Spotlight this week. Go ahead, introduce yourself and let everybody know a bit about what you do.
My name's Adam from Really Awesome Coffee. So I launched the business about 9 months ago now, March 2022. Basically, it's a mobile coffee van delivering coffee mostly Monday to Friday to businesses, business parks, office blocks, things like that. But on the weekends and stuff, and during the week in the evenings, I do sort of events, whether that's sort of football tournaments or whether it's corporate events, birthday parties, but everything, really, weddings as well. I do sort of cover all bases in terms of anybody that wants coffee. I'll come and serve them coffee.
Fantastic. And is there like an ideal kind of person you would want to speak to in terms of maybe like an office block owner or like a wedding planner or anything like that?
Yes, the list is endless, really. Like in terms of offices, I'm based in more or less sort of East Belfast and stuff. So anywhere in and around East Belfast, Titanic, as far as Hollywood, happy to speak to anybody from there who may be thinking of having a corporate event or a team building event. Again, I think it's good. It's nice to be touched. I've had loads of good feedback from businesses that have got involved and brought me in. The staff have loved it. They maybe get a coffee and a tray break. It's actually been really good for people coming back to the office. So 2-3 years out of the office, and people have hired me to come down as like a wee sort of welcome back, guys. Here we've got a coffee van in just to sort of break us in nice and gently because we haven't seen you in two or 3 years. So it's my van sort of it's great because I can just rock up. I can be there for an hour, I can be there for a full day. It just depends what they want really from it.
And it's a little bit like a treat then for the staff.
Yeah, they say at the minute my coffee round is going around serving people like a regular customer, but yeah. I also do the one-offs like the corporate where it would be a treat. But also if say a company in my area wanted once a week they wanted to treat their staff, then I could go there once a week and do that for them, or once a month even. It's really flexible. It's really flexible. That's what I love about it.
And I'm just curious then, so you go on 9 months. How did you get into this business?
Well, I worked previously for Henderson's for 15 years. Roles, but more recently sort of like a sales role. And dealing a lot with the likes of the barista coffee brand. I just knew that it's a coffee. Everybody loves coffee at the minute. It's a growing trend. Everybody's addicted to it. So I thought, what, I want a piece of that. You know what I mean? So I was looking into different things in terms of coffee. Do a static pitch, or do a coffee shop, or a mobile cafe? And then I came across the guys that build this van, and they just blew me away in terms of the build of the van, and in terms of the quality of the coffee and stuff. So I was like, yeah, these guys are the guys to get involved with.
Do it that way. And how's it been going? For the last 9 months, and what's been working for yourself? What's it been like?
It's been a massive learning curve, I suppose. Sometimes you have that sort of what's the word? Like you're apprehensive about getting into your own, going self-employed. Then when you make the jump, I think I was all confident it's going to work. And then when you get the first few, they're not knockbacks, but whenever you start maybe giving somebody a quote and then you don't hear back from them, you start to feel down. I think is it something I did, but you have to just remember at the end of the day, there's plenty of competition out there, and one thing might suit somebody better than my coffee van. Maybe they wanted a bigger coffee van with more catering options in terms of maybe barbecue options. I don't know, but sometimes I only have a limited option. So I think don't take it too personally is what I've now sort of learned quickly, because at the start I was taking it personally, going, is the way I've presented myself in the email, is it the price? I just started overthinking. So now when I send the quote, I send it, and if they don't come back to me, I try not to take it personally anymore.
So it's a wee bit around you can lean on your sales background for this, but in terms of like trusting yourself that you've done everything you can, and it might just not be the perfect fit.
That's it. I think because it was a new, going out on your own, you've no company behind you. There's more self-doubt there, because you haven't got a boss coming down and saying, don't worry about that one. You'll get the next one. You don't have that. It's basically you, yourself, and I. So I think a self-doubt crept in at the start, just because it was all new. Again, working for the same company for 15 years, knew the processes. When you're on your own, you're on your own. So Yeah, but do you know
And
what?
I
I
suppose the
absolutely
flip
love
side of
them.
that, then it's quite exciting then when when you do win a tender or get a claim through.
That's the beauty of it. I think the first maybe few weeks I didn't get anything. I was like, oh, what have I done? What have I done? Then you win one, then you win another one, then you win another one. You're going, this is great. You know,
Yeah.
you lose one, you get another one, and that's just the way it goes. And like you say, you get a wee buzz out of it. Like you're like happy days, and then it's great whenever you've got the tender or you've got the gig, and then you go and do the gig, and you're just like, you know, you've seen it through from start to finish. You know, and it's just like happy day. This is great. I want more. I want more. You know, so. Absolutely loving it.
And would you say is that the biggest hurdle you've had to overcome as a new business owner, or has there been something more difficult to get past?
I think admins. I've always hated admin. You know, I'm always more the person who wants to go out there and talk and chat and be hands on. Comes to the admin side of things, I'm like, you know, the accountant's sort of asking for all this information. I'm sort of trying to turn the other way and hope it'll just look after itself. But unfortunately, it's all on me. So the admin side of things, but that's just my type of person. I'm not a fan of admin, but I wouldn't see it as a challenge. It's just more, it's something I'm trying to avoid. But I keep sort of leaving it the last minute nearly until the quarter end, and then I have a big workload. So I need to get better at that. But that's just the minor thing in my eyes, you know.
And what have you learned about yourself since you went down on your own?
It's a great question. I think what I've learned about myself is I doubt myself quite a lot, actually. And I think maybe in the past where I worked for Henderson's, I always had somebody to sort of give me a nudge to say, wise up, you're pretty good at it, don't be silly. Whereas I think when you haven't got anybody beside you or behind you, you're sort of going, am I any good at this? Am I, you know? But then when you're getting the feedback from the customers, it just lifts you again. You're getting feedback from your friends and stuff saying, no, don't be stupid here, you're doing well. Do you know what I mean? So I do have a lot of self-doubt. Is one thing I've definitely noticed. So I think I'm slowly and surely overcoming that, you know, and just trusting the process. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just, I mean, I was going to say, take confidence from the feedback you get from the clients. You're obviously doing a good job with.
Yeah, I had great feedback there recently. I done one day for the client, and then they asked me back again for the Thursday, and so on Tuesday and Thursday, and again the feedback they gave me after was excellent. So that gave me a massive lift. Going, you know what? Because it's always the bigger corporate ones is always the ones you're more sort of weary of. Because if you're doing a football tournament or something, that's grand, but whenever it's a big company, you're going here. You don't want to mess up here because you want to impress. And when you're coming from a corporate background, you know what sort of they expect a high level of quality and high level of service. So whenever they're giving you good feedback to say you done that, you tick that box, it's a great feeling, you know. So just need to stop doubting myself, basically.
And you said about in Henderson's, there's always somebody to give you a nudge, you know, to say you're doing okay. So who would you say has been the best coach you've ever had, and why?
Oh wow, a load. Do you know what? Henderson's is full of great people. I could name loads, to be honest with you. You know, I had great managers coming through the ranks, like say Gary Brady, Noreen Black, and then like say John Clark. I think he's more or less nearly top of the tree now at Henderson's. Guys like that, just they were the ones that always give you when you had self-doubt. Don't be silly, you're fine. You know, get up and get on with it. You're good at what you're doing. You're not a manager for no reason. So people like that, and then even in the other side of things, who's my last manager, Laura? She was good. You know, she would give you that sort of when you're sort of getting down about going and cold calling, rapping doors. I was then, you know, going, I'm not doing this right. And they're like, you are, just be yourself, just be yourself. And I think that's the thing. I always feel like I'm trying to be somebody else that I'm not. But see, when I'm myself and I know I'm being myself, that's when I thrive, you know. So, but I know loads of I could keep naming people from Henderson's. To be honest, taught me a lot. I'm very thankful for my time at Henderson's. And I didn't leave on bad terms. Love working there, but I always wanted to do my own thing. So,
and what are you getting from doing your own thing? You know, what's the biggest? Is that, you know, you get the buzz from dealing with customers, but like, what is it giving you back? Is it freedom, or what's the best thing about being self-employed now?
It's so strange because like I thought I worked hard in Henderson's, but now I'm working longer and harder than I've ever worked in my life. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not as well paid either. But do you know what? I'm a lot happier. And it's not that I was unhappy. I think it's just the sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
Do you mean? I felt like I'd sort of climbed as far as I could go in the corporate world, just with sort of personality I have. I don't really take myself too serious, so I felt like, I was never going to become a director in Henderson's, because I'm that sort of happy-go-lucky type. So I think the fact that what I'm doing now is serving customers, creating an excellent service, can have the crack and have the banter, also earning money and or building my own business. And the plan is to try and grow this. I don't see myself staying with one van. I'll hopefully get at least another one in the van in the next year or two. So that's the beauty of it, is that I know, being myself, I can still grow a business. Whereas
your personality will lend itself then to you can harness it nearly to build that business.
I think it's all about, because my personality is that sort of bit of a joker, as people would describe me. So whereas I have a serious side, but you put me in a 30-minute meeting, after about 20 minutes, I'm sort of looking, I'm sort of, starting to get itchy, wanting to crack a few jokes or something. Do you know what I mean? So that doesn't always go well in the boardroom. So that's the only sort of thing that I felt like I was never made out. So I could have left Henderson's and went to another corporate, but for me, that was never going to be the right decision. I felt I was in, top 20 company in Northern Ireland. So I was only going to go from the frying pan into the fire in terms of getting into more boardrooms, which I'm just looking to crack a joke here and maybe inappropriate in a boardroom. So I can do that with my customers day and daily, and still.
And that's what they want. They want that jovial side and a bit of entertainment when they're getting their coffee, maybe.
Absolutely, because they maybe come out of a stressful meeting, and I'm sort of all happy we're lucky, trying to cheer them up basically. And for me, I feel like it's taken me. Well, I'm only 33, but I feel like it's taken me till I'm 33 to find like a perfect role for myself.
Yeah, that's cool. You talked about getting another van on the road, maybe. So what does the future look like for you, and what do you see as the main challenges moving forward? Then
future hopefully is more of this. I love what I'm doing, so more vans. The biggest challenge will be funding it, and the future. What does the future look like? Who knows at the minute with the cost of living. So my worry would be, obviously, people cut back. They're not maybe buying as many coffees as they once were. So that vision of me having a van the next year or two might go on the back burner and just focus on the one until I can sort of make sure that, okay, we're not going into recession, or if we are going into recession, is have a cross my T's and dot my I's rather than maybe spread myself too thin. So that would be the biggest challenge I think facing me in terms of growing, wanting to grow, but is it the right time to grow?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So look, just to finish up then, if you could go back in time and speak to Adam when he was 18, what's the one piece of advice you would give yourself?
Wow, I don't know. It's just make sure you enjoy what you do, and I did. I did enjoy it up until, I suppose, COVID. I think the working from home made me not enjoy it as much. So up until then, I was enjoying everything in terms of work.
Yeah.
Out and about, chatting to my retailers, chatting to customers and stuff. So I loved all that. But when I was working from home, that sort of killed me. So making sure you enjoy what you do, and I have done for years. And now, I thought I really enjoyed Henderson's, but this is taking enjoyment to another level for me. Do you know what I mean? Which I didn't think was possible.
It's interesting though that you said you work longer hours and you get paid less, but you've never been as happy.
Yeah, and again, that's not a reflection on Henderson's. That's just a reflection on. I thought I was happy. I was happy, but now I'm even like saying the level of enjoyment's way off the Richter, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm running my own business. There is stresses. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
But I love the day to day. There's no longer that Sunday night feeling going, oh, Monday again. I'm like, Monday again, happy day. Let's go another week of, pouring coffee and having a good laugh.
And you can't put a value or a price on that. It's priceless, really, isn't it?
It doesn't feel like work at times. That's all I can say. Yesterday I was standing down in the freezing cold, but it was a nice day, but freezing cold down in Newton Hours doing a hockey blitz day, and loved it. Do you know what I mean? It was freezing. My feet were numb, but I was really happy. Just chatting, people I'd never met before, just chatting away and having a bit of crack, having a bit of banter with them. But still free. Still happy.
Yes, I was going to say, I would say hopefully you'll get a few bookings off this when people see it. I really appreciate you taking the time out. and sharing your story with us so far. And I'll definitely be watching to see what the future holds for you and your company.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for the opportunity, Scott. I appreciate it. Really do. Thank you.